Your brain is not lazy. It is simply trained the wrong way. Right now, millions of people believe they lack focus. They believe they lack discipline. They believe they lack motivation. They blame themselves. They criticize themselves. They think something is wrong with them. But neuroscience tells a very different story. The real problem is not intelligence. The real problem is understanding how the brain works and how it quietly controls every thought, every emotion, and every decision. Some people face pressure and their mind becomes sharper. Others face the same pressure and their mind shuts down. This difference is not talent. It is brain conditioning. From the earliest years of life, the brain learns patterns. It learns how to respond to difficulty, how to respond to fear, and how to respond to uncertainty. If the brain learns avoidance, it repeats avoidance. If the brain learns problem solving, it repeats strength. Over time, these repeated responses become automatic. People begin to call them personality, but this is not personality. This is programming. Most people believe laziness is a flaw. In reality, laziness is often a signal that the brain feels unsafe, overloaded, or overwhelmed. When a task feels too large, too unfamiliar, or emotionally risky, the brain activates protection mode. It slows you down, creates resistance, and pushes you toward comfort. Not because you are weak, but because your brain is trying to protect you. This is why motivation rarely works long term. Motivation depends on emotion, and emotion constantly changes. One day you feel inspired, the next day you feel empty. But habits and neural patterns do not depend on emotion. They depend on repetition. This is where neuroscience reveals a powerful truth. The brain is adaptable. This ability is called neuroplasticity. Every repeated thought strengthens a neural pathway. Every repeated action deepens it. What you think daily, what you react to daily, what you avoid daily, all of it physically, reshapes your brain. Fear, repeated, becomes automatic. Focus, repeated, becomes natural. Calm, repeated, becomes your default state. Your brain becomes what you repeatedly train it to be. Now observe how most people begin their day. An alarm sounds, the heart rate jumps. The phone lights up, the mind floods. Messages, news, social media, other people's expectations. Before the brain is fully awake, it is already under pressure. This teaches the brain one clear lesson: mornings mean stress. And what the brain learns, it repeats. There is a critical moment every single day, a moment most people ignore. The space between sleep and full wakefulness. In this state, the subconscious mind is open. The brain is highly suggestible. Whatever enters the mind in this moment sinks deep. This moment quietly programs emotional tone, focus level, and reaction speed. Protecting this moment changes everything. If the brain receives calm first, it stays balanced. If the brain receives chaos first, it stays reactive. This is not mindset. This is biology. Successful people may not explain it scientifically, but they respect this moment instinctively. They design their mornings to train the brain, not shock it. Silence is the first reset. A few moments without input allow mental noise to settle. The brain stops scanning for danger and starts organizing information. This is where clarity begins. Breathing follows naturally. Slow, deep breathing signals safety directly to the nervous system. Stress hormones reduce. Heart rhythm stabilizes. The brain exits survival mode and enters thinking mode. Visualization becomes powerful here. The brain does not clearly separate imagination from reality. When you repeatedly imagine calm reactions, focused behavior, and successful outcomes, the brain builds pathways as if those events already occurred. Later, when real pressure appears, the brain follows familiar routes. Movement strengthens the system. The brain evolved through motion. Walking, stretching, or light exercise activate attention centers, memory circuits, and emotional regulation. A still body signals threat. A moving body signals readiness. Input shapes identity. What you hear repeatedly becomes inner dialogue. Words quietly shape belief. Belief shapes behavior. Positive and clear input rewires decision-making. This is not inspiration. This is conditioning. Writing clears mental weight. Thoughts trapped in the mind create pressure. Thoughts written down lose intensity. This creates psychological space where clarity can emerge. The brain constantly predicts. It predicts danger. It predicts effort. It predicts reward. When the brain predicts failure, energy pulls back. When the brain predicts safety, focus is released. Belief matters, not as motivation, but as biological instruction. The brain listens to patterns, not promises. Many people try to force discipline. They push harder. They judge themselves. They create pressure, but pressure without safety creates shutdown. The brain does not grow under constant threat. It survives. Growth requires challenge and recovery. Without recovery, the brain learns fear, not strength. Consistency matters more than intensity. Extreme effort followed by exhaustion teaches nothing. Small repeated actions teach safety. The brain learns, I can handle this. And what the brain believes it can handle, it begins to master. Attention is the brain's currency. Whatever holds attention shapes neural structure. If attention is constantly stolen, focus weakens. If attention is trained deliberately, focus strengthens. Distraction is not lack of willpower, it is untrained attention. Modern environments attack attention constantly. Fast content, endless scrolling, constant alerts. These train the brain for speed, not depth. Over time, deep thinking feels uncomfortable, not because it is difficult, but because it is unfamiliar. Comfort follows familiarity, not ease. To retrain focus, the brain needs stillness. Moments without stimulation feel uncomfortable at first, but this discomfort is necessary. In stillness, ideas connect, creativity emerges, clarity forms, a distracted brain consumes, a calm brain creates. Stress is not always harmful. Short stress followed by recovery builds resilience. Chronic stress without recovery damages regulation. Many people live in constant low-level stress. The brain never fully rests, never fully resets. This leads to fatigue, irritability, and mental fog. Recovery is not weakness. Recovery is training. Sleep, stillness, slow movement, repair neural circuits. A rested brain learns faster, decides better, and reacts less emotionally. Emotion controls memory. Experiences paired with fear are avoided later. Experiences paired with calm are repeated. Harsh self-talk backfires. The brain links growth with pain and resists change. Gentle discipline works better. Structure creates safety. Safety allows effort. Decision fatigue drains mental energy. Too many choices exhaust control systems. Simplifying routines protects focus. This is not limitation. This is freedom for the brain. Identity is built through repetition, not what you say once, but what you do daily. The brain tracks evidence. Every small action says, this is who I am. Over time, identity stabilizes behavior. Purpose matters deeply to the brain. Meaning releases energy. When actions feel connected to purpose, effort feels lighter. Without direction, the brain feels restless. Clarity calms the nervous system. Remember this clearly. Your brain is always learning, even when you are not trying. If you do not train it deliberately, it trains itself randomly. Random training creates chaos. Deliberate training creates clarity. The brain is not broken. It is adaptive. Give it safety. Give it repetition. Give it direction, and it will reorganize itself. Start each day intentionally. Protect attention. Move the body. Calm the nervous system. Over time, focus sharpens. Emotions stabilize. Confidence grows. Train your brain patiently, and your life will slowly align. Not through force, but through understanding.